SportsBeat is brought to you by Ken Garth. We hear you.
Thanks for watching SportsBeat on this Saturday. Jeremiah Jensen and Sam Farnsworth with you for the next half hour. The NFL playoffs are underway. It's in overtime right now, if you can believe that, in college hoops interconference play.
Yeah, but we're going to start in the NBA, and one of the hottest teams in the NBA, the Utah Jazz, of course. They've won 9 of 10, including a close battle against the Bulls in Chicago on Thursday.
The road trip continues today in Orlando. The Jazz seeking their 5th straight win, which would be the longest in the NBA. Jazz in Orlando in the first quarter. Royce O'Neal. You give him that much room to shoot, he's going to knock him down. He's been great from 3 the past few games. Orlando's Aaron Gordon, one of the best dunkers in the game. Drives and does his thing. Jazz still up by 4. Donovan Mitchell gets Orlando in a blender and kick it out to Joe Ingles. Jazz go up 16-8. Joe blowing kisses to the Orlando crowd. Moments later, Donovan keeps it this time. The pump fake gets him. Let's check in with Rudy Gobert as well. He's been playing so well lately. Hammers in 2 on the pass from Joe. Jazz up 8. The quarter ends with the George Niang 3. The Jazz led 33-25 after the first quarter. Second quarter, Orlando's bench gets cooking, specifically Terrence Ross. He makes 4 straight buckets to cut into the Jazz lead. Then 7-footer Mo Bamba drops a Bamba from 26 feet, and Orlando has the lead. Joe Ingles gives the Jazz the lead back with the 3. It's another battle on the road for the Jazz, tied at 44 in the second. We'll have more on this game later in the show. Now to college hoops. The running Utes were picked to finish 9th in the Pac-12 this year. Made sense that expectations weren't high for a team whose rotation is made up entirely of freshmen and sophomores. But the Baby Utes have wins over Kentucky, BYU, and Minnesota, and opened Pac-12 play Thursday with a win over Oregon State. An entirely different challenge today, though. 4th-ranked Oregon in town, the Pac-12 favorites. They lost in Boulder on Thursday. You know they'd be ready to go today. Rylan Jones does not play like a freshman. From the logo, ties the game at 17. Booth Gotch was outstanding. A 3 gives Utah the lead. But Oregon is ranked 4th in the nation for a reason. They're talented, they're deep, and they can run the floor. Chris Duarte with 2 is 14. Gotch was sensational, though, slicing through the Ducks' defense for a hammer dunk. The Utes down 5 at the half. Second half, Gotch continues his hot streak. A steal and a slam. Utah opened the half on a 7-0 run to take the lead. Could they pull this off? Well, Oregon responds with a run of their own. Peyton Pritchard with 2 of his team-high 19. And then Will Richardson in the corner, 14 off the bench. Oregon's 13-5 run gives them a 10-point lead. The running Utes make a run as well. Mikhail Utinen makes a 3, and away from the ball, Timmy Allen is fouled. Refs review and call it a flagrant. He hit 2 free throws. A 5-point play basically there. More from Gotch gives the Utes a 60-59 lead. Gotch had 24 points in the game. Timmy Allen, 19 points, 11 rebounds, a tough bucket inside. Gets the Utes within 1. But Oregon was just too tough in transition. Utah still had a chance to tie it late, down 3. Timmy Allen, not the best 3-point shooter on the team. It's off the iron. Great effort, but the running Utes come up short against the 4th-ranked team in the country. They're at Colorado next Saturday.
Southern Utah, winners in 4 of the last 5 games, hosting Montana State this afternoon. They scored just 17 points in the first half, 41 in the second half, though. Harrison Butler with the and 1. They turn up the intensity on defense. They force the steal, leads to a Mason Fawcett dunk. More defense by the T-Birds. A block by Butler. Cameron Oliutin finishes at the other end. And then more from Fawcett. This guy had a big game. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks. Southern Utah win by 6.
Check his pulse. Weber State on the road at Northern Arizona. Cody John stepping up for the Wildcats. 24 points. But the biggest difference was the bench play. NAU outscored Weber State 21-10. They got a big boost from Brooks DeBishop. Hit 18 to lead the Lumberjacks. Weber State falls 72-64.
Well, if you count the teams that are receiving votes in the national polls, Utah State entered the week ranked 27th in the coaches poll, 31st in the AP. They're knocking on the door to get back in the top 25, but then the surprise of the season so far for the Aggies, they couldn't buy a bucket and were thumped by UNLV earlier in the week. Well, tonight, back in the friendly confines of the Spectrum up in Logan, the Aggies have a chance to do something no other team has yet done, which is beat the San Diego State Aztecs, a team that is 14-0 and ranked 13th in the nation. Coach Smith says the game in Vegas was not Aggie basketball. They learned a lot about themselves, and they're ready to make the necessary changes.
They out-worked us, they out-toughed us, they out-coached us, they out-everythinged us on Saturday night. And so we were very undisciplined in every way, shape, and form on both ends of the floor. And that's not emotion talking, those are the facts. And quite frankly, I'd never seen us play like that. And so it was very, very disappointing in all aspects. And but at the same time, you got to be able to self-correct, and you got to look in the mirror and have enough courage to say, you know what, I was awful that night, and all of us in the program to do that. And it's certainly not going to get any easier on Saturday night.
Well, highlights of that game on the KSL 5 News at 10, and this one as well. BYU opens West Coast Conference play tonight at the Marriott Center against Loyola Marymount. The Lions are 7-8 on the season. They won their conference opener against San Diego. These are the games that BYU can't afford to struggle with if they want to hang in the conference title race with Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Mark Pope reminds us how challenging league games can be, regardless of the opponent.
Every single game. I mean, like halftime, Zags go in the locker room down 7 at Portland. And that's just how league play is, right? Utah State just got drilled by UNLV, right? It's just how league play is. And so right now we're just locked in on it. We know we have to find some way to compete tomorrow.
Let's do some football now. The state of Utah well represented in the All-American Bowl in San Antonio, a game you saw right here on KSL. Noah Sewell of Orem High School, Van Fillinger of Corner Canyon, and Xavier Carlton of Juan Diego received invites. Fillinger sitting out with a shoulder injury. Van Fillinger and Xavier Carlton signed with the Utes in December. Carlton had 1 tackle for loss in the All-American Bowl. Utes can't wait to get him up on the hill. Orem Tiger Noah Sewell will join his brother Panay at Oregon. Sewell had a big game, including an interception, ran back for 20 yards. He also converts a fake punt and turns it into a 30-yard gain. Oregon's going to play him on offense and defense next year.
All right, College Bowl season continues as well. Southern Miss and Tulane in the Armed Forces Bowl opening drive for the Golden Eagles. Kez Watkins with the short catch from Jack Abraham. Gets the yak, 44 yards for the score, and then Abraham gets it done with his legs. Southern Miss with a 13-6 lead at the break. Second half, though, is a little different story. Justin McMillan to Jalen McCluskey. 52 yards for the touchdown. Southern Miss down 3, trying to get something going, but the ball picked off by Larry Brooks. He takes it all the way down to the 5, and the Waves would get another score out of it. They get the bowl win 30-13.
All right, coming up next, we're going to check in on the NFL playoffs. Plus, today's best from the NBA, the Clippers down double digits in the second half against Memphis.
Nuts.
But it's got to be every night. Beautiful pass and the throw down by Gobert.
Yeah, we'll look back at the week from the Utah Jazz. Rudy Gobert continues to make his case for the All-Star game and 2 more wins. Jazz Rewind coming up.
Utah Jazz have won 9 of the last 10 games, and they're beating up on bad teams. Does anyone care? I don't. They're taking care of business. Who cares who you're playing right now? And they're getting better also, despite missing Mike Conley in the lineup.
Yeah, Rudy's presence in the paint is getting stronger and stronger. Clarkson making an impact off the bench. Donovan, he's being Donovan, right? Let's rewind.
Jordan Clarkson. Check this out. He's walking by. They said, hey, look, Al made the sign.
You know, you see it right there. You know, I'm all for tough play or physical play, but that's cheap.
He wants no help from the Pistons.
Rudy gets him right here in the right side. Ouch.
He's still talking.
Oh, Drummond, he's not happy. And Rudy's like, okay, let's bring it on.
Got a new friend now.
Clippers, but it's got to be every night. Beautiful pass and the throw down by Gobert. Jazz have scored on 4 of their last 5 possessions. Double pump his bogey, the dish inside. And Rudy puts it home. The 19-point first quarter so far. They've scored 10 here.
Oh, Rudy went down.
Well, he got shot, hit low, and it looks like he did. Donovan's lacing him up. Just a 35-point half. Oh, Donovan lights it up. Down the lane.
Love him back.
And pumps home two. For 2 more. Drummond wants that ball. He's got it. Joe Ingles knocked him over. Yeah, offensive foul. Well, Joe, I don't think you can maybe play this game at that level. And now look at it. He's proved the critics wrong. He stole it. Kick out. Bogey. Bang!
You know, they scored 81 points tonight. So I thought we did a great job defensively.
And we get a steal, bounce it inside the layup. Royce O'Neal. And man, again, defense fuels as you go offense.
Man, he's been everything we thought he was going to be these past 3 games. You know, he's a guy that's go out there, you know what you're going to get. You know, he's going to attack the rim. He's been aggressive.
Clarkson for 3. Got it.
He's learning all this on the fly and still playing well, so that's tough to do. And he's making the most of it. I think we're all glad to have him for sure, and he's going to continue to do more as he becomes more comfortable within the offense.
Utah fans will recognize that face. Jim Boylan now in his 2nd year with Chicago. There's Donovan, crosses over, right to left. Touchdown in traffic and puts it down. Only Donovan Mitchell can put that shot in. Wow.
We had a lot of lifts from different guys.
Well, the Jazz have done a fine job handling the ball as O'Neal flushes it down with the right hand. Gobert rolls, he's way out front, giant step, and what a hammer. Bogdanovich, he's in the paint, lob it, and
then goes through the legs of Gobert,
wow.
It looks like.
Wow. Satoransky back to Levine, he'll take the 3. Oh, Gobert switches inside, hammer!
You know, he's playing like the dominant force, you know, we always know.
5 ticks on the clock, Levine inside on Gobert. Rudy says not tonight.
Rudy saves the day once again. Zach LaVine has a layup if it's not for Rudy Gobert.
And when he's decisive and just goes up there and just tries to punish people on both ends, you know, he turns into the all-star that he is.
More from the NBA today. Matinee in Memphis. Grizzlies hosting the Clippers, which means John Morant highlights. He skies for 2 of his 22. Former Jazz man Jay Crowder had a monster game. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. He was 6 of 11 from the three-point line. He led the Grizzlies to a 26-point win over the Clippers.
Nuts.
All right, coming up next, a look back at the best moments of 2019.
And high school hoops, they're underway. Can you believe it? Some of the top teams in the state going head-to-head on Friday night. We'll show you who came out on top next.
Full schedule of high school basketball Friday night that included a matchup between 2 of the top teams in 6A, Pleasant Grove and Bingham. Pleasant Grove would score first. Cale Mickelson, a football player. He plays basketball too. He knocks down the 3. Miners come back with Jacob Bennett. He ties it up. And then Justice Reeser adds a 3. Tyson Driggs knocks one down from the corner. Bingham would lead by 3 at the half. Bingham opens the second half on an 8-2 run. But Pleasant Grove whittles that lead away. In the fourth quarter, PG's Andrew Williams hits back-to-back threes, give the Vikings a 1-point lead. Bingham held a 2-point lead as time wound down. At the buzzer, Cale Mickelson sends it to overtime. In OT, Tyler West scores the first 9 points for Bingham. But PG stays in at final seconds. PG has a chance to tie it at the buzzer. Ball does not go in the hoop, and Bingham holds on for a 91-88 win.
All right, just down the road, Copper Hills was hosting defending 5A champ Corner Canyon. Carson Butler was hot from three-point range. Hits 2 to open the game. Keep that in mind. He had a hot hand going. Now let's go to the fourth. Grizzlies down 1 in the final minute. Stone Hutchings lays it in to give Copper Hills the lead. Next possession for Corner Canyon. Trace Ross draws the foul with 4 seconds left. He'd sink both free throws to take the lead back. So the Grizz take the ball, give it to the hot hand Butler for the game winner, but you see it there. It was blocked by Tate Staley. Corner Canyon gets the 1-point win on the road.
The top 2 teams in 6A in the RPI rankings facing off in region play. Dave was the big first half. Jake Sampson gets the team started with the 3 ball. Then Trevin Leonhardt gets the steal and the lay-in. Spencer Vernon adds to it. Darts with a 13-point lead in the first half. It was a slow start for Fremont star Dallin Hall. 6 points in the first half, but in the second, he started cooking. 24 points in the second half, including this steal and dunk. But the late push wasn't enough as Davis holds on to win 85-74.
You know who's still unbeaten? Layton. I stole your thunder.
Not at all. They hosted Roy Friday. Final seconds of the first quarter, Lancers get the steal and Landon Brandt lays it in with a few seconds to spare. Second quarter, another steal. And we promise there's a great Ethan Potter dunk behind that referee's head. And Potter had a game, the big swat. Then in the third, a steal. The hoop and the harm finished with 26 points, and Layton improves to 9-0.
How about Bountiful visiting West on Friday night? In the second half, Austin Cooper stealing the inbounds pass. Robert Whaley's going to finish it with the layup. Bountiful building a big lead. More defense leading to offense here. Jackson Bennett with the steal. It's going to result in a Braves fast break. Max Curry finishing at the other end for 2. Whaley had 16 in the game. The Braves roll past West, 71-44.
All right, up next, we'll update you on the Jazz game in Orlando. And we take one last look at the best local sports moments of 2019. You knew this one was going to be in there.
All right, time now to check back in on the Jazz. Down in Orlando, going for a 5th straight win just before the half. Deadlocked at 44. Donovan with the bucket. Less than 2 minutes. Boyan showing some finesse at the rim. Wow. Nice little reverse. Way to go, Boyan. Hey, Donovan keeps his mid-range game going. It's been going pretty well all year for him. The runner with the right hand drops, and then, well, if Mitchell's got it going, keep it going, right? More Mitchell in the lane again with that right hand. 5-point lead at the half, now up in the third quarter, 60-55.
All right, we look forward to another exciting year covering local sports here on SportsBeat and KSLSports.com. Before we move on, though, how about one last look at our favorite moments of 2019?
And the Aggies in the dance, a new coach for BYU Hoops, the Jazz making some moves, the Utes 11-win season, it just goes on and so much more right here.
He was big and tall.
It was emotional at first. When it first happened, I couldn't believe it. It's like I don't even know how to act.
It's my honor to announce the 2023 All-Star Game will take place here in Salt Lake City.
Weatherington will try again. It's Utah with the sweet tooth tonight.
Early 4-0 lead.
And the pick and roll.
Battled up and intercepted. Did they get it? If they got it, it's over.
The ruling on the field stands. Interception.
It's over. Final seconds falling away. Oh!
Easton throws an interception. Jalen Jackson down the sideline. All the way. Touchdown, Utah.
Break free is Bogdanovich corner wide open.
Look forward to what's to come.
You work for this your whole entire life. I'm going to make it this time. I want to go out there and try my best.
This kid, that was John Stockton right there. That was Steve Nash.
Freshman.
This kid has something. He's got game. It's just what you dream of ever since you started playing football, you know, so it's awesome.
I just remember talking to my teammates, some of my workouts, like, we got to make another run. All the practices you've been through, all the sprints, all the hard work, all the blood, the sweat, the tears that you guys went through, it all makes it worth it, you know?